Bastrop, Texas is well known for its rich history, natural beauty, and an authentic vibe that you just can't find anywhere else. The city of Bastrop is proud to bring you Overheard at City Hall, a podcast aimed at bringing you, our community, inside the walls of City Hall to get to know the hardworking men and women of the city of Bastrop who wake up every day to serve you, our citizens. Join us as we discuss the many topics that on any given day may be overheard at City Hall.
Hey Bastrop, welcome to Overheard at City Hall, coming to you from the beautiful LCRA reading room at the Bastrop Public Library. We're changing things up a little bit for this podcast. We're actually classing the operation up a bit, Colin. We have with us, with the Chamber of Commerce, Becky Womble, and with Visit Bastrop, Susan Smith. Thank you both for gracing us with your presence today. So, You're familiar with the podcast? You've been avid watchers, I assume?
I've been loving it. It's
really
enjoyable to watch.
Well, yes. That's a great start. Yes. Susan's not saying anything. Maybe.
I've seen one, yes.
You've seen one? Well, which one was that?
Which one was that? That was with Rebecca.
Oh, okay, and Sarah. We're talking about the
Summer in the City.
Summer in the City.
That's my favorite so far.
Okay, well, cool. So maybe this will be your new favorite. We'll see how it goes. We appreciate the partnership the city has with both of your organizations, and I'm going to give you a little time as we converse to talk about what's going on with the Chamber and with Visit Bastrop. But I want to start with giving you guys an opportunity to talk about some really cool events that are just around the corner. First off, with the Patriotic Festival. So what should people expect come July 3rd?
Well, we are so excited. It's only 23 days away, not that I'm counting.
Right.
But it's the 30th annual Patriot Festival. So it's a partnership between the city and the Chamber that's been going on for 30 years.
Right.
The day starts with a 5K run called a Run White and Blue.
Yep, I'm in training. I signed up.
I saw that you registered for it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
not looking to impress anybody, but I'll be there bright and early.
Well, we have different age divisions.
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah, I'm
There's
in
three,
the
first,
older
second, and
category.
third, yes,
right.
for each of the age divisions. And so it starts off that day, and then we will open the park at noon with just a tremendous amount of activities. There's the favorite Water Wonderland. They'll be going on from noon to 8. We have stilt walkers that are going to be walking around the park. We have hoops with the Bastrop PD.
Oh, yeah, they're looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's new this year. Then we have a petting zoo, and we have face painting, and just all kinds of activities. And we just want the public to come out and just enjoy a free event and celebrate our nation's birthday.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great day. And you're responsible for the weather. That's part of the job description,
that
right?
is on the checklist. You've seen my checklist in my office.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's pretty extensive. So, yes, first on the list is Chamber weather, first thing.
Well, we certainly don't need more rain. So.
No, we do not. But we do have some live music this year. We have the Shop Dogs. They'll be playing starting about 5 o'clock, and then a group called the Presley Project that does all kinds of Elvis music. No jumpsuits, no sideburns, just a 10-piece.
Skinny Elvis.
Skinny Elvis. He is. He
okay,
is,
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, we're excited about him. And then, of course, the most amazing fireworks in Central Texas about 9:15 or dusk.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that. And I know it's a lot of work, a pretty significant volunteer effort, so thanks for putting all that together.
Yes, we need volunteers. We got about 100 more spots we need to fill right now, so if you want to come out and just, watch kids go down the slide, make sure they only go down one at a time, it's something simple like that, or being a crossing guard at the 5K, but there's all kinds of ways people can plug in.
Oh, that's really cool. And something for all ages, and yeah, sounds like a great community time. And then a few weeks after that, we have the Corvette invasion happening.
We do. July 16th, 17th, and 18th, we'll have around 500 Corvettes rolling into town. They will be mostly at the convention center for the big show on Saturday.
Right.
But you'll see them all around town at our establishments and enjoying themselves in Bastrop. So we have 500 cars coming in, and we have 14 states, visitors from 14 different states that will be here for that
Oh, my.
show. So yeah, people are coming in from all over. There's supposed to be a new surprise this year for Corvette fans. It's like one of the rarest Corvettes that are around, and I can't tell you the name of it because I just know it's a rare Corvette, and I'm not supposed to say anything more than that. But if you're a Corvette fan, you're going to want to come out on Saturday and see this. So it's free. It's open to the public on the show on Saturday, and we're very delighted to have them back for a second year. Obviously, we missed last year due to COVID, but this year, and hoping to have them back again. And they've also just yesterday signed up to have another event, a smaller Corvette event in November.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're going to have two real fun Corvette events coming up.
Well, that's terrific.
Yeah.
I know the community really looks forward to it. I've been hearing so much about the Corvette invasion, and so looking forward to that.
They're great folks, real great folks, and they have a really good time when they're here. And we also have we have a city manager pick for the car.
So I'm told.
So
Yeah.
you'll be able to pick your favorite car.
Yeah, just on looks alone, right? 'Cause-
Whatever you want. That's
Okay.
how I choose mine.
Right.
It's pink. It's pretty. So, no, you'll have a choice an opportunity to pick your car of choice, and as I will, and that's always fun because sometimes I don't have a lot of knowledge of cars, so sometimes I am just looking at it from an appearance standpoint, and
Right.
sometimes it's folks that have never won an award before, so they get very excited about it.
Okay, right. All right, I'm looking forward to that. So, Susan, talk a little bit about your organization. I think there's probably people watching who don't really know what Visit Bastrop is all about and the
Sure.
nature of the relationship between Visit Bastrop and the city of Bastrop. Just high level, what's that all about?
Okay, so Visit Bastrop in our world is called a DMO, which is Destination Marketing Organization.
Right.
So we market the city of Bastrop to potential visitors and meeting planners to bring their meetings and events here, such as the Corvette invasion,
Right.
and tourists to come in and enjoy our beautiful city. We're funded through a HOT fund program. It's not any city tax. There's no taxes involved at all. That is just the HOT fund program is a fee on the hotels when visitors come in. That's where that money comes from that funds us, and that's funded the city takes care of that and then funds us based on a performance contract.
Oh, well done. Thank you. And just for our listeners, HOT, H-O-T, stands for Hotel Occupancy Tax. And again, it's a tax on the visitors that the city collects, and this is all regulated by state law in terms of how those proceeds can be spent. And a portion of those proceeds are in that contract between the city and Visit Bastrop, where you go turn around and market the community, which actually benefits the local hotels too. It's the local hotels paying the tax, and what state law essentially says is let's make sure how we use this funding benefits the tourism industry and local hotels. So it's
Exactly.
a kind of a cycle that we pay attention to. And I've really enjoyed getting to know you and your staff and diving into the specifics of what it is you guys do. And thank you for all of that. And thank you for
Thank you.
being as responsive as you are. This is a set of subjects that gets quite a bit of community attention and city council's attention too. And of course, just like everything else, we're very transparent in how we manage that. You give really comprehensive reports to the city council periodically, all of which is very much appreciated. So
And our board meetings, for anyone that's listening in or watching, is they are open to the public.
Right.
They're posted on our website, and if
Yeah.
anybody would like to come and learn a little bit more of the inner workings, we'd love to host you, to have you visit.
Yeah.
That's definitely always an option.
Yeah, and kind of diving into some details here, conversations you and I've had over the last few months has a lot to do with the convention center itself.
Right.
The convention center here in Bastrop is such a beautiful and terrific asset, and
It's a jewel.
It is.
For a community this size, it's a jewel.
It is amazing, and I tell colleagues of mine that I've worked with for a long time about just all of the assets that are available here in Bastrop, and chief among them is the convention center. And I think we have a responsibility to make sure we're using it
Right.
for what it was designed for, and put an emphasis on keeping it full and busy. And so thank you for all of those marketing efforts and the emphasis on that. And you mentioned the pandemic earlier, which of course has really skewed the numbers these last several months. I guess, a question for both of you. So what are you seeing in summer of 2021 moving forward? And I think we all feel like we're coming out of it a bit. Are you seeing that?
We are on our end for sure.
Right.
People are definitely booking meetings again.
Yeah.
Not so much maybe for the rest of this year, but a lot into next year, which is a typical sales lead time.
Right.
But we're seeing a lot of in-person meetings coming back. We're seeing a lot of people willing to travel again. There was recently in the news in Austin, the airport has 2 and 3 hour delays.
Right.
Part of that is the fact that they don't have, the TSA is having a hard time finding staff, but the other part of that is that people are generally traveling a lot more. So
excited to get back
we're
out this
really seeing that pent-up demand is being unleashed. And this is the time, this time and next year, we're going to see just tremendous growth.
And so, Becky, in your conversations with your members, are you seeing the same kind of trends?
Oh, yes. Just the sales tax report that came out
Oh,
this
my.
last week. I thought last month was just an anomaly, but
No, I don't think it is.
it's.
right.
I'm just blown away that those numbers are up so much again.
Yeah,
Of course,
Tracy Waldron, the CFO, just like sprints into my office to say, when we treat that as conservatively as we can, but even that's a double-edged sword. Sales tax revenues are historically elastic and hard to predict, and so it's important that we're conservative in our projections. But there's
she very much was so last year, because she was talking about
Oh, no doubt.
$760,000
we
deficit.
were
and we had
anticipating
1 month.
a significant
Yeah.
shortfall. The city talked to the city council about putting a freeze on filling positions, and we targeted some positions that we wouldn't fill. We have subsequent to that fairly recently filled all those positions, and it is very wise to be conservative, but this trend is real. Yeah.
Our business community, especially like our restaurants who were, closed for basically about 2 months, and then limited capacity, as we gradually open back up for business, they are just reporting records that are breaking all records from 2019 and 2020.
Despite the challenges that Susan mentioned, that I hear a lot about in terms of people's ability to hire staff. That seems to be impacting the entertainment, the restaurant, the hotel motel industry. Do you see us breaking out of that?
I think so, especially from people trying to hire wait staff to someone trying to hire for, an insurance, people in their offices. Paying really good salaries. So there's hiring signs all across Texas, and the unemployment was good whenever businesses were closed and being laid off. But the unintended consequence of continuing that unemployment has been shortfalls in staffing for all business sectors.
Right. It's just an interesting dynamic to watch, and that sector seems to be doing well, and just it seems like we'd be blowing the doors off if we were able to fill those positions. So if that's happening, that's great. And we're seeing that a little bit from the city of Bastrop perspective as an employer as well. And right now we have a couple of patrol officer positions are vacant, and we pay a lot of attention to making sure we're as full staffed as we can be in our public safety positions. And just in these last couple of months, we see a trend that is going the other way. It's harder and harder to get people to apply for those, I think, actually pretty well paying jobs. So. Right.
So 5 months without a staff person, and the position started out like at $50,000 a year and had incentive pay
right.
Based on performance, and
yeah.
she had a hard time finding somebody.
Right. Yeah, and some of that is probably a supply and demand thing. There's a lot of growth happening in the community right now. I know the city of Bastrop is setting records in terms of new residential development permits that we're issuing every month. This last month, we issued more permits than we did the entire year before that. Some of that you can explain away by the pandemic, but not all of it. And yeah, it's there's a lot.
To tell you how much things have changed, my first full year here was 2015, and I
Right.
remember we were excited. We had 58 new home starts.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we do that in a month. Yeah.
I know. It's crazy. It's
It
a good
is.
time to be in Bastrop.
It is a good time to be in Bastrop. It absolutely is. And to welcome all those new residents and make sure they understand what Bastrop is all about. Yeah.
What I love is just how we embrace people that are new.
Yeah.
I mean, we just welcome them in, and not every community is like that.
Yeah.
And so we have something really special here. Just how, I mean, other communities is like, we don't like your ideas, go back where you came from, but here I think we embrace those ideas and want to build upon them and make us a better place.
Well, I think, Becky, you get a lot of credit for that, and so thank you for that and that whole spirit and mindset that you have and exists amongst your staff too. I get to sit in on your board meetings as an ex officio member, I guess, as my capacity as city manager, and what a great board, and the positivity level of those conversations, and how I certainly was made to feel very welcome here, moving here about 10 months ago. But I've witnessed how you guys accommodate new members, and just the emphasis on that community spirit and volunteerism. It's real, and not every community has it, and it's kind of hard to fake it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
And from the visitor standpoint, we have many success stories of visitors that have come here and ended up moving their businesses here, and moving their families here, just because of our friendly nature.
Right.
They say economic development starts with a tourism visit
It
most
does.
of the time.
Yes.
Right. Isn't that cool? That is so interesting. And on the other side of that, and Susan knows I'm not a tourism expert, and hopefully I don't try to come off as one, but it does seem true and correct that the things we do to build the quality of life for the community, and focused on the locals and what makes the locals happy to be here, also works for the visitors. Because visitors want to know what the locals are doing, right? And so it seems like we have that going on too, right? A lot to offer in this community. Yep. It is
Very fortunate.
Very fortunate. Lots to do, beautiful area, friendly people, a lot of growth. And I appreciate the conversations we've had the last few months about working hard to make sure all of that is integrated, like the community assets we have located downtown, and our focus on downtown with the museum and the visitor center in the museum and the opera house and the art center. It's just trying to connect those attributes and those assets to what a tourist might be interested in, right? And just packaging all that together. A big part of what I've tasked Assistant City Manager Rebecca Gleason to work on, and working with stakeholders like you guys. I think that's all coming together.
Oh,
For sure.
It really is coming together very well, and we're packaging ideas and making sure. I was at a meeting this morning with Kathy Danielson and our music friendly committee, and sharing ideas about how to get events out there, and so it's a great partnership. Great collaboration. Yeah,
thank you for that. And thanks for mentioning Kathy's name. I think Kathy is an asset too, and we kind of rocked Kathy's world organizationally a few months ago. She had been serving as the director of the Bastrop Convention Center, and so we've remodeled how all of that works, and Kathy is still gets to love the convention center and has a lot to do with how the convention center is managed and operated. But again, we wanted to broaden that focus a bit away from just kind of in a silo managing the convention center, and integrating that into the city's approach to events and events coordination. Careful not to overdo it and take over events management and planning that happens out in the community. That's not the city's job. That's not the city's interest. But making sure we're there as a resource and helping that we
partnership is so important, though.
It
I mean,
is.
as somebody who runs an event, I mean, there's no way we could do the Patriot Festival
Right.
with what the city staff, without what the city staff does.
Well, thank you for that.
Without the security from the police department, resources as far as the parks and
Yeah.
making sure, you know, like you mentioned a few minutes ago, getting the tree down that fell over in the park and stuff like that. But
Right.
it's the collaboration that makes it work. So no, it doesn't feel that way at all. It's just,
Oh,
It's
good.
great.
Yeah.
And I also I've been getting for several years now some great feedback from the folks at the Corvette Invasion, and they said that we are one of the friendliest and easiest cities to work with.
Isn't that great to hear?
So, and
Yeah.
that, you know, those messages get out into the meeting world, into other car show worlds, and
that's better marketing than you could
then
ever buy.
Exactly. And again, that's why they're coming back again in November, because and they said, we just have to talk to you about, but we need more police, you know, that day, because our event's going to be so much bigger, and we need to get people. They drive out to Coda, and then they do some laps at Circuit of the Americas with their Corvettes, and they need a police escort. So they're like, we don't mind working with you. It's so easy.
Oh, that's
And if you want to
great
get your appetite wet for those Corvettes, come out on July 3rd to the Patriot
Oh, that's
Festival,
right.
because
That's
there's going to
right.
be a red, white, and blue one on display. So
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both for what you do and the spirit behind how you do it, and for working like you do with your boards, and for the collaboration with the city. And we talked a lot about events here. Events are a really important way we demonstrate what a community is all about. And I think the proof is in the pudding in those community-wide events. So thank you for putting that emphasis on that. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to share before we wrap up? Okay.
thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Oh,
this was
thank you.
fun.
This was really enjoyable. Thank you very much.
Like watching them.